Have you heard of the Anchor app? Okay. If you haven't heard of the Anchor app, let me tell you. It's this app where if you ever wanted to start a podcast, you can literally start a podcast for free in under 5 minutes. Yes, girl. 5 minutes. You upload your cover art, you give your podcast a cool, catchy name, and bam, your podcast is on Spotify, Apple, Google, you name it. So go ahead, turn off this podcast real quick. You have my permission. Go and download our Anchor and start your podcast today.
Black girl from Big City, we know what's really meant to.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Black Girl from Brick City. I'm your host, Ace with a Y, and it is a pleasure to come speak to you guys today. I have a more so serious topic to talk about today, and I wanted to make it as informative as possible. I did my research. I will also be providing links in the info box. Hopefully you can click it. I know some streaming services don't let you click the links or stuff like that, but I will make every possible attempt to make sure that you can click these links because I feel like it is important to educate yourself, especially on things and topics that are going on in the world. We need to understand as humans that just because something is going on with a group of people or in a country that we do not live in, that it ultimately affects all of us, and especially people of color. So if you are listening to this episode, you are aware of what has happened at the border in Texas when it comes to the Haitian community. We had to witness as Americans, yet again, white supremacy reign its evil horn and just try to kill, steal, and destroy everything that comes in their path. So just as many other countries have refugees, such as in Afghanistan and other countries that are running away or fleeing from distress, you had Haitian migrants that were looking for asylum in United States, and they were met at the border with border patrols on horses, literally with whips, whipping them. You saw in the pictures, the horrible pictures. You saw them in pictures whipping men holding their children. Women were running into the river. It was like a flashback of the 1840s in America. And I would not be a true Haitian if I was to make a podcast episode on anything else today. This is a heavy topic. It is heavy on my heart. I am Haitian. And I'm going to tell briefly my story about being Haitian, being a child of two Haitian parents who were born and raised in Haiti. And, I was born in America. It was different being raised in America. I know for a fact my parents were raised in Haiti, so they had to struggle more. They had to use the resources that they had in order to provide a better life for themselves. And when they came to America, they did exactly that. They worked hard. My mother is an entrepreneur. My father is very successful in his career as well. And they birthed a very successful woman. And I just always think about how grateful I am that my parents were allowed to come over here and build a life and were allowed to reap the benefits of the opportunities that come with America. It would have been completely different if I was raised in Haiti. So I'm extremely grateful, but my heart always goes out to those parents who couldn't get their children over here for a better life. And even though I wasn't taught Creole as a child from my parents, which did cause a certain lack of connection between me and my Haitian side of my family. I wanted to be able to speak the language. It was hard for me when I just couldn't, because being born in America, my accent is just so what can I say? American. I don't want to be ignorant. I was going to say black. But no, I'm extremely grateful that my parents were allowed to come over here and make a better life for themselves. But never will I forget that some people aren't given that same privilege. Regardless of all of that, I would like to inform people exactly what happened at the border. A lot of people were saying, why are they there? Why are they there? Why? They don't belong there. We have rules here in America. And I'm just going to get straight to it. America was stolen. Okay? I don't know if people forget their history. I don't know, maybe it really is easy to forget when, you know, you're in a society where once something happens, it's over. You never talk about it again. But let's get to the nitty-gritty. America was stolen. It isn't a myth. Native Americans already had their land, their ways of life. They already had everything for themselves. And then when Christopher Columbus came over here and said, oh, look what I discovered. You know, doesn't that sound like a white supremacist thing to do? You know, I don't want to, and let me just back up. I have nothing against my white people that may be listening to this, okay? When I say, I'm going to say white supremacist because I want to really make clear the differences of white people and white supremacists. We're talking about white supremacists, white people in general who are racist and who treat people of color differently because they are indeed people of color. Okay, so let's just put that out there. I am in no way, shape, or form against any person of any race, but we just have to call it what it is. Okay, Christopher Columbus, so-called, came over. He came over and saw the people and said, "Hey, oh my goodness, like, look at this land that I found," and then proceeded to call it his own. So when we say we're not letting people into our country, they're going to steal our jobs. White people are actually immigrants in this country. And I know that's really deep for most people, you know, and it was actually really deep for me when I woke up, because if you have been a student in America, especially as a child, I don't really know how the school system is now, what they're teaching our second and third and first graders. But when I was a second and third and first grader, I was taught that Christopher Columbus discovered America. We knew that on Christopher Columbus Day, we didn't have school. Okay, we knew that, we were taught that he discovered America. He was the one that came on his boats, and he is the one that discovered it, which is all lies. And it just mind boggles me how much the American government lies. They lie and they lie, and then when they're caught on their lies, they just lie a little bit more. So before we can even get into the immigration process itself, we have to really come to terms with the history of our country, the lies, the deceit, the blood that was shed, stolen land. So when these migrants came over to seek refuge because of the turmoil that's happening in Haiti, they were met with horses and whips and mean-spirited words from the Border Patrol. I remember watching the video, and I was so completely disturbed. One of the Border Patrol agents actually said to one of the Haitian men, "Hey, you see how you're treating your women? This is why your country is shit. This is why your country is shit. You see how you're treating your women?" And it's like, the level of audacity that white supremacists have, they feel like they can do anything. They can say anything, because guess what happened to those agents? They were placed on administrative duty, which means they're still getting paid and they're still employed. They can still go to their families and provide. Even with these evil ass hearts that they have, they're able to just go home to their loving wives, hopefully. You know, we never know, because if you get in love at home, I'm pretty sure you don't want to whip other people with kids. But they just get to return to normal. While my people had to suffer being dropped off in Haiti with no place to go, no place to live. A lot of these people were coming from other places. But our government decided to drop them in Haiti and just, hey, next ship, next plane, whatever, who cares? And a lot of people may be asking, well, why were they there? I don't know. Ask yourself, give yourself a moment really quickly and ask yourself, if you were a citizen of a country that became unsafe, almost uninhabitable for you and your family, your kids, your mother, your father, people you care about, your cousins, your husband, your wife, if it came down to life or death, would you take that trip and take that risk to go somewhere different that may be better for you to raise your family? And 9 times out of 10, if you are a rebellious spirit like myself and like the people of Haiti, yes, you will take that risk because most of us have never been in a life or death situation. So you really probably don't know the answer. But yes, anybody would do anything to protect the people that they love, their families and their kids. So the question, why are they there? They have no other choice. What would you do? What would you do? That's why they're there. The same reason why you would be there if you were looking for refuge. Haiti, as most people know, has gone through so much when it comes to natural disasters, when it comes to their government. I'm not sure if you're aware, but July 7th of this year, their president was assassinated. If the country itself is getting too chaotic and the government is on the brink to collapse, what are these people to do? What are my people to do? You know, I was reading up on the Biden administration stating that they were going to take 70,000 refugees from Afghanistan to live in the U.S. Where are they going to stay, you ask? They're going to stay with the average American. Some people in Texas offered to volunteer to keep these refugees, about 100, I think. And they're being processed as we go, as time goes. But I guess America said, we done bombed y'all up. That's how they talk, I'm pretty sure. We done bombed you guys up. We done killed so many of your people. Caused so much distress in your country. Come on over here and be a refugee in my country, right? Then you have some people, of course, conservatives, Republicans, or whatever political party. Pretty sure they were Republicans. Hey, we can't have those refugees in here. They could be unvetted refugees and they can infiltrate our system. Honestly, America, enough is enough. I'm so sick of the bullying act and then trying to play victim, trying to make it seem like there's not enough room for everybody. There's not enough opportunity for everybody. It seems like it's only not enough opportunity and space for people who aren't white. Okay? People are looking for refuge, shouldn't be met at the border as if they are criminals. Okay? We could talk about the real criminals and the thugs, but this is not the episode for that. So these refugees were really looking for a better life. Their whole way of life has been shaken up from natural disasters, political disasters, just being demonized by the media. Let's talk about it as well. Haiti was one of the first countries in the Western Hemisphere to be free from slavery. And they didn't like that. Okay, 1804, Haitians said enough is enough. You Europeans coming over from France, y'all trying to come and y'all trying to, what was his name, Napoleon? Y'all trying to come over here and you're trying to make us enslaved, but we can't be enslaved. We're powerful people. We're rebellious. So they stood together. They came together as black people. We all are black people. I know some Haitians say Americans and Americans say Haitians, but we are all black people. They came together as black people and caused their country to be free. And what did the people around them do? The countries around them? They abandoned them. Okay, you guys want to be free? Let's see how you be free without this. Let's see how you be free without that. Not only that, I remember a time where they were trying to demonize Haiti. It made it seem as though voodoo was the reason why the country was always in distress. I've actually seen some very ignorant comments from trolls. We don't pay attention to trolls, but maybe people really just don't know that, look, voodoo is not only in Haiti. Not only has voodoo been demonized, voodoo is not always bad. It's culture. It's about what you use it for. Okay, and we're not going to get too deep into that as well. You can do your research if you want to know more about voodoo, but they have voodoo in all types of countries. Ghana, Nigeria, New Orleans. Like, voodoo is a culture that has been demonized from people who want us to believe in white Jesus. They don't want us to go back to our practices, our spiritual practices, how we got through as African Americans, as Black people in general, from our ancestors. They want to make anything that makes us connect to ourselves spiritually, that connects ourselves to our ancestors spiritually, anything that will allow you to wake up, okay, and connect the dots, is demonized. Oh, that's bad. That's why their country is in disarray. Actually, the country's in disarray for reasons like resources. You know? And it's like, I'm so sick of the narrative that Haiti is just this dirt poor country that's not beautiful. And Haiti is the most beautiful place I've ever visited. Okay? I had the privilege of visiting my mother's hometown. My mom was born in St. Mark. So I had the privilege of meeting my family that's out there. When I tell you beautiful waters, high mountains, the houses are beautiful, different colors. The resorts are like it's a resort. Unlimited food, unlimited liquor, okay? Beaches are clean. America has this way of making everybody else look like they're dirt shit poor. But honestly, America, let's talk about it. You're in debt. Trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. And now you're trying to find these desperate ways to get your money back. We ain't even going to talk about that. Let me say something. Haiti is a beautiful country full of beautiful, resilient, strong, rebellious people. And one thing that I'm starting to learn about where I was born, which is the United States, what I'm starting to learn is that they don't want us to know our power. This goes deeper than just not allowing Haitian immigrants inside the country. Not only did the Biden administration order more border control agents to get them out, but overnight, thousands of Haitians just were gone. You know, America loves to do things real quickly when it comes to benefiting them. But when it comes to our rights, even as African Americans, when it comes to our rights, we have to wait. Everything is a waiting game. Everything is a waiting game. But when it came to dispersing migrants and refugees who you could have, just like the Afghanistans are going to be given to the average Americans who volunteered, how about we ask some Haitian Americans who were born here, hey, would you like to volunteer to get some, to host a refugee in your home? Sensible, tactical, strategic answers to problems seem to be so hard for the American government to come up with when it doesn't benefit them. That's the only time that we see everybody just doesn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And I've been angry. Not only at this situation that happened with the horses and the whips with my people in the rivers, I've been angry as a Black woman living in America. This vaccine has made me angry. How they just think that they can make shit mandatory for us. Mandatory. You can't work if you don't get this vaccine. You can't go to school if you don't get this vaccine. All we hearing about is the vaccine. But we don't ever hear about real life change, especially for some reason when it comes to my people or people that look like me. And I just want to know why. When it comes to the Biden administration, do you think I'm shocked? Do you really think that we should be shocked? No. Did I want Trump to be president for the next 4 years? Hell no. Okay? I didn't. We don't want to make America great again. He really started some He was trying to start a race war. I don't care. And I'm not holding back on this episode. These are my opinions. And I really don't want to make it too political, but let's just be real. If you were a black person during Trump's presidency, can you talk about tension? Can you talk about racial tension? Even driving down the road, seeing a Trump flag just makes you feel so, you know, as a person of color, it's like the hate that this man ignited in America, the division, the chaos. Let's talk about it. He incited those I don't know what to call them, hooligans, thugs, that stormed into the Capitol, right? All of a sudden, nobody's being charged. Everybody's just getting little fines here and there. They can't find some of them, right? I even heard that one of them requested that his meals in jail be vegan. Like, I don't know. I don't know what makes white supremacists think that they are above humanity. I don't know what makes them feel like they can take and take and take. I don't know what makes them feel like they can use propaganda to control us. Because just as important as it was for them to say, okay, everything is mandatory now when it comes to this vaccine, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, it was a little scary. How could you not be scared by the way that they were promoting this vaccine, bro? I understand and I get it. Let me back up because I don't want to sound too insensitive. Because one of my good friends, she hit me up and she said, Ace, like, did you actually do some research on this? Did you speak to doctors on this? Because she had a personal connection to COVID. And this is a sidebar. She had a personal connection to COVID, okay? She was pregnant with COVID. I think even her son got COVID. It was crazy scary. So she decided to get the vaccine in order to protect him. And I understand that completely. Trust me. But what I don't understand is how they are making something that is still not effective to the point where this is something that can stop you from transmitting this disease and passing it on or even getting it. If it's not even that effective, why are you making people choose between their jobs and the shot? And it just makes me realize that America makes what they feel mandatory. And let's talk about it. They getting paid off these vaccines. I don't know how. I don't want to listen. I don't have any facts to support that that they are getting paid by the person who each person gets this vaccine. It's some type of monetary value. I don't know. And I'm still doing research on it. But again, this is an opinionated, if I said that right, opinionated podcast. And since I'm an anti-vaxxer right now, because, you know, they gave us a name, people who want to ask questions and want to wait to get the vaccine, now we're being demonized as well. We're anti-vaxxers now. And it seems that anybody who goes against the corruption, the confusion of the American government is immediately demonized. Why do you think they're taking in Afghanistan refugees? They demonized Afghanistan for years. How many of you guys remember when they called every Muslim a terrorist for so long, blatantly, in the media? Literally, as I was researching the refugees, I saw an article, and I'm gonna put it in my my notes. I saw an article, and the headline was, "Is the U.S. letting terrorists into the U.S. or is the U.S. government letting terrorists into the U.S.?" Really? So we're just gonna demonize a country full of people because what? Because we bullied them and it wasn't successful, or we're tired of bullying them now, so now they're terrorists? No. And I refuse to believe anything that comes out of this government's mouth, and I don't care. I stand on it. I'm upset. I don't understand how everything else is important other than protecting black and brown people. Even when it comes to other countries, they don't respect us. So if they don't respect us in their country, because it's their country, it's not our country. It was never meant for us to be citizens. Like, please don't ever forget your history. Please don't ever forget that there was a time where blacks were not allowed in certain places. There were signs, there were laws that made us less human than the white American. Let's not forget. History is literally, it's not even repeating itself at this point. It's the present. And until we wake up and remember what our ancestors already went through, Black people, we got to stick together. I know it sounds corny, but how long are we going to still put money into the 1%'s pockets? When are we going to really wake up? And I'm seeing, ooh, something just flew into my, tried to fly into my nose, Lord. But yeah, I'm seeing more and more Black people waking up. Like, shout out to y'all. Let's give y'all some ghetto snaps, okay? There are many people fighting the good fight. There are many people. And, you know, I'm not even going to say that we don't know how to stick together, because we do. We stick together when it comes to gossiping on Shade Room. We stick together when it comes to certain things that, you know, collectively benefit us, like stimulus checks. And, you know, I'm sorry. I just got to keep it a buck. We even came together when it came to Black Lives Matter, until it was infiltrated by other people who really don't care or believe that Black Lives Matter. But I want us to really come together, and more so a rebellious spirit. I was listening to Reza Islam. He's become one of my favorite speakers. And he was saying how Haitian people have such a rebellious spirit down to our ancestors because of the fact that we were independent, as I stated earlier. We fought for our rights as a people way before slavery was abolished in America. And I say all that to say this. Shame on the Biden administration. I'm not shocked, but it's still shameful to know that, yes, I did vote for Biden. You know, I'm not gonna get a sticker on my car. And I really didn't want to vote for Biden, okay? But, like, it was literally a choice of who is the lesser evil in my case. Because you think I wanted to vote for Biden after he said you ain't Black if you don't vote for me? Come on now. You think I really... No. But do you really think I want a white supremacist? And if Biden is a white supremacist, listen... Who the hell knows what these people do in their lives? Honestly, at this point, I don't freaking know. All I know is that I am a Black woman in America. My ancestors are from Haiti. And I just feel like we deserve some more respect, yo. And you know what I also found out as well? I used to think before my research that United States had no ties to Haiti. But what I actually researched, and I'm going to leave the link again, everything that I'm saying when it comes to research, I did look it up. But I was looking and I did some research, and actually, United States has been assisting Haiti, you know, since the earthquake in 2010. It stated, and I quote, "The United States has made available over $5.1 billion for assistance to Haiti to support life-saving post-disaster relief, as well as longer-term recovery, reconstruction, and development programs." $5.1 billion to assist Haiti? Where's the money? Where'd it go? I mean, I don't know. I don't think that money is really going to the people in the places where it's needed. And even if America is helping on that type of level, where's the help now? Where's the actual help? Where is the refugee programs? Where's the immigration programs? When are things going to get better in this country? It seems as though every single month there is some sort of chaos and confusion when it comes to our government. From COVID vaccines to Asian hate bills I'm not hating on the Asians, but wow, they got a bill way before black people did, and we be getting killed left and right. Our rights have been violated left and right. But we had to sit and watch the Biden administration sign over bills for Asians and all other races and countries besides us. And didn't he say, you ain't black if you don't vote for me? We was black when we voted for you. What's going on? We honestly, shame on us for voting for him, but shame on it all. I don't even know what else to say. I just wanted to really come on here and really shed some light on how I feel about what they did to my people at that border. And honestly, for the VP Kamala to go on The View and say, yeah, it's terrible what they're doing. It's just terrible, It reminded me of the times of slavery. Are you dead ass? I honestly think that all of these political leaders think life is one big joke. I'm highly disappointed, and to basically sum this episode up, my heart is with my Haitian refugees. I can only imagine the type of stress, the type of pain that they are going through, hopelessness. And I just pray that God covers my people, my land, and give us a break. Really shine his light upon them, because imagine just thinking that you're so close to help and then boom, right back where you started. And I wish to the American people, have some compassion. And to the white supremacists, I know you're not capable of compassion, but humble thyselves, because you stole this land to begin with. I ain't even going to keep it politically correct. You're a thief. All your laws are made just to benefit you. And one day we will see equality and justice for all, for real. So I really don't have anything else to end this episode with. Again, I did come on here to shed light on what happened at the border with the Haitian refugees, and really just speak about how I feel and how it makes me feel being Haitian American. I never lived in Haiti. It's almost like I'm privileged to even be in America. Almost like. It's definitely a privilege. And my heart goes out to my family that I have there. Despite my language barrier, I have a deep passion for Haiti. I have a deep passion for where my moms came from. And I love my people. So pray for my people. If you're not Haitian, pray for my people. If you are Haitian, pray for us, y'all. And I hope that you have a productive and blessed week. And I hope that you come again next week to come stop by and get some knowledge, get some gems. Until next week, I'll see you guys. Bye.
When I drive, gotta peep through the window. Black girl, gotta watch what I'm into. Black girl, you don't know what I've been through. Dark skin, got 'em feeling so fearful. Got 'em feeling so fearful. Got 'em feeling so fearful. They scared. Powerful, I got powers, superpowers, and you can't stop it, no. Got 'em feeling so fearful. Got 'em feeling so fearful. They scared. 'Cause I'm powerful, I got powers. Black girl from Brick City.